right, good morning and welcome to P&B Morning Show, where politics meets business and the real issues take center stage. Today we are looking at two stories that define the state of the nation: power and politics. In Abuja, the All Progressives Congress 2026 National Convention is already underway. On the surface, it is a gathering of party faithful, but beneath that lies another far more critical: a context of influence, strategy, and positioning ahead of 2027. Because in Nigerian politics, conventions are not just about signals. Who is rising, who is consolidating power, and what direction is the ruling party truly taking? At the same time, away from the political stage, millions of Nigerians are dealing with a very different reality: darkness. The power sector continues to struggle, and once again, we are hearing explanations, reassurance, and yes, apologies. But the big question remains: how many apologies are too many? Because for businesses trying to survive and family trying to live, electricity is not a luxury. So as political actors strategize for the future, Nigerians are asking a more immediate question: what about now? What about the economy, the cost of living, the basic infrastructure that drives growth? Can a nation truly move forward when its politics is active, but its power supply is unreliable? So this morning, we connect the dots between leadership, accountability, and delivery. Because in the end, governance is not just about winning elections, it is about making life better. So do stay with us. I am Omike Joseph Matthew, who will try and dissect these two major issues this morning: the issue of politics and, of course, electricity. Stay with us. We'll be right back right after this. All right. Welcome back. Welcome back, everyone. This is the P&B morning show right here on Politics and Business Television. Let's now dive into the newspaper review this morning, and of course, the newspaper review. We have some papers for you this morning to quickly review. But before I do that, let me quickly introduce my, of course, my colleagues here in the studio with me. Brian Shaibu is here, and of course, Chidi Kenneth is also here with me. So, gentlemen, good morning.
Yes, good morning, OJ. Good morning, Madam Shaibu. Brian. Good morning, viewers. What a wonderful Friday once again. It's Friday again, OJ.
Yes, of course.
It's ready for the weekend.
Yeah, course, yeah, it's right. It's already Friday. Yeah, it's Friday. It's Friday. Friday with it's a semi-holiday.
Yeah, okay.
Semi-holiday because of the convention, the federal government has asked workers to work from home.
You mean today, right?
Yes, to work from home. That's the language. So, government workers in Abuja.
I don't think they need to tell us work from home. Even the economy situation.
They don't want to use the word. It's public holiday. They don't want to use that word, public holiday. They work from home. I don't know how it's got our government. Offices. Digitalized to the extent of working from home.
Oh, they should just simply tell us the fuel situation.
It's not fuel, it's the convention. They don't want to say declare public holiday.
I'm telling you my own. I'm telling the government. Say it is fuel station.
Situation where they've blocked everywhere. They've blocked all the routes leading to Eagle Square, the venue of the convention, and all that.
That's why you work from home, and there's no even fuel. I think it's better for his time itself because there is no fuel to come out in the first place.
All right, gentlemen. This is the newspaper segment. So let's quickly dive into what the papers have in stock for us this morning. The New Telegraph is what we have. The very first issue this morning. APC National Convention. Credibility on trial amid rising discontent. Credibility on trial amid rising discontent. What is this discontentment that the paper is trying to tell us about? It's all about this issue of consensus stuff, gentlemen. Exactly. Because we have an issue with the APC chapter in Bauchi State.
Yes.
As we speak yesterday, the committee set up by the national body to settle the Bauchi State chapter could not sit to settle the matter, because while they were here to settle their matter, they now organize another executive back home in Bauchi to inaugurate them. Why you called these ones here to settle the issue? And before you know, they have inaugurated, there was an attempt to inaugurate another executive members back home in Bauchi. So you understand?
At the end of the day, will be blaming the courts, because the next thing they head to the courts.
Yes,
yes. In fact, litigations will be flying up and down.
I'm telling you,
these are the issues. These are the credibility and internal democracy we're talking about that is absent in our politics in this part of the world. You see, there's no ideology.
There's no ideology.
It's just interest.
In fact, people are trying.
Like you say, interest cover.
All these are moves to consolidate power in preparations of the 2027 election, positioning, and then managing internal crisis. But there are so many people that are beginning to feel the very strong influence of the president will play a part, especially as regards the consensus. So for me, it's already a predetermined something. And some people are really not happy with it, particularly across the states. Yes, so I think this is part of the discontent that people are showing. Largely, it's on the state, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll wait and see if the convention will settle all these issues, and you can see the New Telegraph is focused on that credibility on trial amid rising discontent. Okay. So check out that story on the New Telegraph. Digital threats, insecurity, challenge to credible elections, INEC. Digital threats, insecurity, challenge to credible elections, INEC. INEC has been talking about the INEC chairman, has been talking in the past 2 or 3 days now on, look at what he's saying there now from the headline. Digital threats. Of course, that was the excuse you know,
National Assembly.
no, the body used. Talking about the institution used in the last election.
Exactly.
When the IRF or whatever went off and they could not, you understand, it's a digital threat. That is one thing. That is what is trying to say here. So it's a threat. So insecurity here displaces a lot of people from their, natural environment where they are registered and all that. It's a threat to credible elections. So
of course you cannot rule out those things. I once observed all these problem, particularly about displacement of those who have registered in a particular place and they are no longer there.
Yes,
and definitely this will play a very important big problem. Yes, some of them, even after portals have been opened for registration, so many of people who cannot be able to do it online. So as a result of that, there are people that are still holding their voters card, but they are no longer in those places where they have been registered. So it is going to present a very difficult situation.
My own point is that, I don't know why INEC is making these comments at this point in time. I don't understand the rationale behind this statement at all. I really do not understand it, but I just hope that it's for the common good, because we all know the issues. Everybody knows the issue. The digital threat. Well, I don't see the digital threat that much, because for me, there's no digital threat anywhere. When the Society of Nigerian Engineers has even come out to say, this is what we can harm to. So if they have any digital threat and somebody has come to say, I will give you drones for surveillance and the rest of that. So if there is digital threat, they know where to go to. They know where to consult.
Okay, so let's quickly continue with the New Telegraph. Do we still have perhaps any headline there to check out? Okonjo-Iweala, global trade hit by worst disruptions in 80 years. Okonjo-Iweala, global trade hit by worst disruptions in 80 years. Of course, Okonjo-Iweala, this is someone who is, of course, the president of the World Trade Organization. So she knows what she is talking there.
Exactly.
Middle East crisis. Trump's latest Iran threat spikes oil prices. Trump's latest Iran threat spikes oil prices. Okay, so let's move on. Let's move on to our next issue on ground this morning from New Telegraph. We are now, okay, what we have now is Weekend Hope. The Daily Trust is next. Power outage bites harder. Power outage bites harder. This one will form part of our discussion this morning.
It's quite timely, OJ. It's timely because OJ have not slept with life for 2 days now. 2 good days. And my neighbor just gave birth, so I don't know how he's coping. The man tried to power his little gen, and he could not continue because of the 1,400 naira
per liter. So how many liters will one consume between, let's say, 12 a.m. to 5 a.m.?
At least a 4 liter gallon.
You should be asking how much was the cost of giving birth compared to the cost of preserving the How much was the cost of giving birth in the first place? If you are burning 1,004 for 8 hours of sleep, for the child to gain 8 hours of solid sleep, because
of course 1 liter cannot take you for
just 1,004 by 8. That is what it takes to preserve a child a day, then times it in a week, then in a month. How much is the cost of giving birth? By the time the child to now become strong and gain some level of
and become a full Nigeria to be able to adjust to
the lack of baby food, and so you can see those that are planning to give birth are beginning to think twice.
In Nigeria.
Somebody told me that the first word an infant learns in Nigeria is "Up Nepa." Yes. The most common scenario.
In fact, my neighbor said that was why I told him why you this kind of expensive. He said he grew up with that word "up Nepa,"
and he doesn't want that to happen.
I'm telling you.
Okay, so the Daily Trust. The Daily Trust issue this morning. The headline this morning is on the power sector and say power outage bites harder. So check out that story on the Daily Trust. Hours to convention. Bauchi APC yet to resolve crisis. Hours to convention. Bauchi APC yet to resolve crisis. 2 dead, 2 others rescued in Kano pit collapse. It's now official that 2 people lost their lives. It's really unfortunate. This thing happened 48 hours ago. Some brick makers were busy trying to excavate sand for their bricks, and then the pit then collapsed. And it's now official that so all those working at the site now collapsed with inside. So now it is now official that two persons unfortunately lost their lives and all that. So it's unfortunate. So we'll continue. I'm not running for 2027 presidency, Saraki. I'm not running for 2027 presidency, Saraki. So Saraki has officially said he's not running for 2027 election. How mother of 8 died hours after giving birth to quadruplets, and wow.
That happened in Kano too.
It happened in Kano. It happened in Kano. Wow.
Not triplets. Quintuplet, like 5, I mean?
5 kids at a time. That's serious.
And she had 8 already.
That is not the issue. Is this how do they call it?
Medical facilities.
8.
This may have.
Does it mean she has 8 children already alive before?
Yeah, I think that's what.
So that's 8 plus 5 is like 13.
But she died while giving birth to 5 kids at a go.
8, 4, 5. Wow.
Okay.
Yeah, so rest in peace.
Yeah, so rest in peace. It's really unfortunate. So we'll move on with Daily Trust quickly before we go to our next issue. ASU gives the federal government 4-day ultimatum to pay new salary. ASU gives federal government 4-day ultimatum to pay new salary. APC convention, government shut roads, asks civil servants to work from home. APC convention, government shuts roads, asks civil servants to work from home.
Well, they have really been generous.
That's indirectly declaring holiday today.
They are just short of calling it public holiday.
So the question now is, if PDP were to have their own, or any opposition party were to have their own conventions, are we going to be declaring, asking civil servants
public holidays like
this? In Abuja?
This is the ruling party.
Is the national
we may not likely. We
is
may not
national
likely
issue. This public holiday or working from home is something that is a directive that is linked to national issues. This is a party issue now, not national.
It's a party because
you not convert party issues.
We have the government have attracted a lot of negativity.
Honestly,
successive government. I'm not talking about this government. Gone are the days. Look, I've witnessed right from 1999. I've witnessed a lot of conventions here in Abuja, and this kind of declaration has never been made. Not even one. The ruling party, as it were, will be having convention in Eagle Square, and roads.
The city will be bubbling.
Yes, the city roads leading to Eagle Square will not be blocked.
I think,
but because of the insecurity issue. Because of the insecurity issue, who caused it? That is the issue.
The same insecurity issue that somebody has come to label the government to say that everybody.
That is no. Let's not go there.
Still blocking the road.
No. The point is that because of, in order to secure the venue, in order for something not to happen and all that, they are blocking all the roads leading to Eagle Square. Right from appeal court, from the axis of Transcorp, Hilton, Central area, everywhere will be blocked. Now, if you are going to Eagle Square, now you have to trek 2-3 kilometers if care is not taken, because there is no way to allow any car, if not an official car. You understand? Not an official car to drive to the Eagle Square now. You just can't do that. If you have a car, you have to park far away from the venue. And so if you have your car, you better park it in your hotel, because where you park your car, you are your own. Because now criminals and everything are right now roaming Abuja now to see which car they will steal and all that.
Also, so car battery is very expensive.
Yeah, steal something, belongings of people and all that. So now this is not where we were before.
honestly speaking. But looking at it from this is one way of looking at it. And then again, I'm thinking about maybe because of the economic situation of people, even now as we speak now, even before the talks about the convention, there are some government agencies whereby you find workers coming to work maybe 2-3 times in a week.
It's already happening.
Exactly, because of this global oil crisis and how prices of things have skyrocketed, particularly as related to transport.
But it's not official.
Yes.
The government has not made the official statement that come to work 2-3 times.
I'm just saying that,
yes.
But probably the government is aware, although it's not official. There are agencies where you go, you'll see very few people are working in the agencies.
You are very correct, sir.
Exactly. So maybe because of that, and coupled with what you said about the convention, also the government now takes an advantage and say, okay, you can work at home.
No, look.
No,
don't make excuse for the government.
No. My worry is what is the link?
No, there's no link.
Mr. Ibrahim, what is the link between a party
and national,
which is a fragment or a segment of a set of people doing their own party and their own convention? Then you are now giving national directives.
Now,
what's the link?
Now the issue, they knew very, very well that because of the insecurity in Nigeria and because we are the ruling party, that this thing want to do might create this, because by blocking main entrances to the Eagle Square will create a lot of traffic jam in the Nyanya axis, that's the Asokoro axis, in Kubwa axis, and so on. So because of that, that's why they say work from home. Forget this government directive. They say work from home. So indirectly they say today is public holiday as far as as far as this convention is concerned in Abuja. Now this is it. This will happen. Must you hold the convention in Eagle Square? Okay, why are you holding the convention on a Friday?
You pause the economy.
No, wait. Why are you holding the convention on a Friday? If it were a Saturday like tomorrow,
of course.
So why not be tomorrow and Sunday?
You are suspending the economy. You are pausing the economy.
Just last week, we are just coming from a Salah break. The civil servants resumed this Monday, and then suddenly civil servants will be at home again from today.
And we'll still have another holiday next week.
We'll still have another public holiday. Why? What is wrong with us?
This is what I call the Owambe politics. The Owambe, because the Owambe, the party politics. The Owambe, there's too much of realization. So we should expect more OJ. Why don't you just take it easy? I can see that.
So I know for the PDP, the wiki-led PDP, or the PDP as it were, they have decided to choose the national stadium, the Velodrome, the national stadium, Moshood Abiola Stadium, to hold their convention, which is outskirts of the town. So with them holding their convention there
with wide parking space,
the stadium is enough to take care of everything. So it will not disrupt any activity.
It's a most
you understand? To not disrupt, but this one, because they want to, we are the ruling party. We must use the Eagle Square as it tried to create the impression that they are the ruling party. Now you are now stop. You just want to kill the economy of Abuja. Yes, the people cannot come into the Abuja easily anymore, as far as today is concerned, and perhaps tomorrow.
Definitely.
So look, the government in power should.
I don't know what to tell you.
This issue of
I can see the emotional involvement.
No, you understand. Public holiday. Do you know the economic?
It's a national affair.
Yes. Do you know?
It's a national concern.
It's a big concern. Every day we're declaring holiday. If economists now come and tell you the cost of this pronouncement today, you'll be shocked.
It's enormous.
You'll be shocked.
It's definitely going to be enormous. Yes.
The loss.
Yes.
And some of it, people are not putting into consideration the effect of all these things. And this goes to show that we are not really respecting certain things in this country. And I'm sure our leaders are listening to us. You see, like you rightly said, if it's another political party that is doing that, will they tell people, will they block the roads?
They will not even allow any political party to hold their convention in Eagle Square. They will not.
Honestly, they will not.
And
this is the reason they will give.
They will
but them now, they are holding theirs.
The Eagle Square is not for party. It's not a party venue.
it's a national.
It's a national asset.
Yes,
or national activity.
Yes, but because they're the ruling party,
they are not using it.
Yes, but any other party, I bet you if ADC comes and say they want to use there because they will deny them and use this. Yeah, no, okay.
That is when they will not want to renovate it.
No,
you see, except if ADC or any other party will use there on the weekend. That's when they may grant them. But if it's a working day will be included in that arrangement, they will say no. So what do we do about the civil servants?
Sadly about all these things, even at the state level, these things happen. You see a sitting governor will not allow the opposition party to hold conventions in the stadium in that country.
Yes.
And they'll tell you that the stadium has some technical faults.
Even say yesterday that all politicians behave in a similar way.
And they will just shut out the party from using the stadium. You see, I don't know this kind of politics of vendetta that we are playing in this country. We are one Nigeria. Democracy is beautiful. Democracy gives us freedom of expression, freedom to of right to use any place. We are all Nigerians for crying out loud. So you see, I am happy.
Although we've not reached that bridge yet, whether or not they will deny any part of using Eagle Square.
We have seen it at state level.
It has been happening, but at least in recent times, we've not seen that. So let's not preempt that. The reason why I brought that is that with this issue of declaring the public holiday indirectly, using the back door to declare public holiday as a result of an activity of a political party, is what we are against. Yes, it's what we are against. And I know they will take cognizance of this. And if any party wants to have their convention going forward, and they should also put it, you understand, they should also consider the date or the day the convention will be holding.
And they should be allowed.
They'll make sure that it's not a working day if they must use the Eagle Square, or else they should relegate themselves to the stadium,
to the
outskirts, or to the national stadium, which will not affect the economy
the activities.
The economy of the Federal Capital Territory, or go to Area 10 and use the mini stadium there. You understand? We have other venues, but using an asset that is central, and then shut down the city because of
declaring like public holiday,
using backdoor to declare public holiday, but you don't call it by the name public holiday. It's what we are against here.
Because most people will not work at home actually.
They're blocking the city gate and asking workers.
What do you mean by work at home? Do any civil servant work from home?
And then you block entrance to the city. It's just like
how many of the offices have computers?
How much more having laptops?
When everything is manual, that a director must put pen the signature physical and all. What do you mean by work from home? What are they working from home for? Is it by calling each other? Is that the work?
Okay, you can never tell me.
Or sending files.
Who told you that? Are we not in the same?
See, they will be using drones to send files.
They will be using drones to be sending files to each other.
That we have drones that can do other works. I have drones that cannot do other stuff.
All of a sudden. And that's in the bush.
We have drones for elections soon. We have drones for public administration.
I don't want to be provoked this morning. Let's just move on.
All right, so let's just move on, please.
Yes.
Okay, so let's move on from the Daily Trust to another paper on the review this morning. The Daily Sun, right? We have the Daily Sun. Now, IGP submits state police framework to Senate. IGP submits state police framework to Senate. One of the writers, or the writer there, federal government reaffirms commitment to secured nations. Okay. So it appears the current IG is really
resilient and fast
serious about this issue of police. So we'll see. Let's see. I think the Senate will try and make this framework public, so that we'll know what content is there.
Exactly.
If it is favorable
to
I hope
to the police, because I know anyway, let me not preempt it.
Because I hope we're not going to situations where there's a video I watched yesterday. I don't know, it's not new, where we see the deputy speaker was trying to pass a particular bill, and he was so hasty about it, and the floor was shouting point of order, and he kept on sweeping 1 to 10 pages and was just hitting the gavel, refused to honor the point of order. The video is everywhere, and he was just moving the thing
without even reading them.
Without reading them. Just because he wants to protect an interest.
This is our democracy.
Of course, that's what they do.
This is our democracy for you.
That's what they do. That's what they do. Okay, so let's move on. The Daily Sun still. Yes, other interesting headlines. The 32 banks meet new capital requirements ahead of deadline. 32 banks meet new capital requirements ahead of deadline. So 2 to go, right? I have 34 banks then also.
Yes.
So 2 to go. So maybe in the next few hours.
You should either meet it or align with other, or be swallowed by other
something will happen between now and Wednesday. Between now and Tuesday, something will happen. Yes. So, okay. Soludo orders suspension of workers without pay for lateness to work.
Wow.
Yes, the governor of Anambra State paid unscheduled visits to
ministries.
Yes, to the secretariat, secretariat in Oka, and some workers did not show. Some workers came late, and that's the
directives given.
Yes, that's the repercussion of
no work, no pay.
No work, no pay, or suspension, and all that.
Yeah, the governor put into consideration why some of them are not even coming to work in the first place. I understand he's trying to instill discipline, OJ, which is commendable. But you should also go further to find out what are the plights of some of this. Like you always say, OJ, some people are going through a lot. But what is the minimum wage vis-a-vis the economic
situation? They are not unemployed people. They are workers. So the governor knows he's paying salary. So why didn't you come to work? You came to work, you came late. You understand? Maybe you are supposed to resume 8, you are coming 9 or 10.
And yes, I understand, but they should also find out from the directors or those saddled with responsibility to oversee the activities of these workers. To find out.
I was once a
don't pamper workers.
I'm not pampering.
Don't pamper.
Look at me.
There is workers.
Civil servant. I know how civil servants behave. I'm telling you, many of them are lazy. Just
lazy. They come to work when they feel like.
There are workers that may come maybe 3-4 times a week. There are workers that can come to work at any time and leave at any time. You understand what I'm saying? Honestly speaking.
Yes, I've seen a worker who tells he goes to the office to just go and sleep.
You understand? You can see that.
As soon as he enters.
So let's not advocate for laziness.
So yeah, of course.
I understand that, but also we also have workers who.
If you must earn, you must work.
You must work. Who also was involved in accidents. We have those who their wife just gave birth, maternity leave. And all that. If you are to join everybody that did not come to work at a particular time, I'm trying to say that they should also.
There is nobody, a lazy worker has excuse for his laziness.
The governor wouldn't have taken that action unless he
so from the query, because he said those that didn't come at all, that they should be queried. Okay, and those who came late, you understand? Their salary should be deducted. So from the query, you explain why he didn't come to work.
Exactly. Then from that decision will be taken. Yes. And again, for a governor, to make that decision, that statement, you must be rest assured that they have done their homework.
Yes.
They have made some.
Oh, they got some hints.
Exactly. Yes, he has gotten hints and he has already established people to go and find out about the truth of this thing. Then he now gave them an unexpected visit. Governors just don't do that. You understand?
Look, I did sorry, sir. We did. Let me say, we did a special report on this issue of civil servants not coming to work while I was in KB just a few months ago. In fact, in December to be precise. Now, each time the governor, Nasir Idris, is not in town, the secretariat will be empty.
You see,
will be empty. Sometimes we'll be in Abuja here for a week or so.
Imagine that.
You will see the secretariat empty. It becomes a ghost town. But the moment the governor is in town, they will now show up. So we've been observing this.
The eye service approach.
Yes. So we now did a special report on this issue. The media house I briefly worked with there. And guess what? The Commissioner for Information was furious. He was furious about that report and called the station. These are people you call them, they will not pick your call. They will not even. But this one he called. How he got the number of the GM of our GM? Then we didn't know. He called and the GM challenged him that is the report not right? That is the question he asked him. That what is wrong with the report?
Civil servant.
And the case say, but you know, you are supposed to have consulted us first to hear from our own side. Yeah, what from? Do you pick? Say, how did you even get my number to come? Trying to intimidate the station because the station also has a reporter there. So you're not trying to, you know,
bully him.
to bully the station. And you understand? The GM stood on his side. He said, "This is the fact. If you find the report wanting in any way, let us know. This is the reality. We are all in bringing KB, and this is what we observe, and we did a report on it, and you are now. You understand? So it's all over. It's all over. So if governors are in town, you understand?
Servants go to work.
Civil servants will go to work, and you know the importance of civil servants.
Of course,
you understand? A lot of things will happen. The reason why now some files that are supposed to spend 1 hour will spend 1 month.
1 month.
Because of this kind of
attitude. Some of these files involves important public infrastructure.
Yes.
You delay it.
You delay it.
Actually,
a lot of decisions because of companies. Some don't go to work for a whole week. For 2 weeks. You just keep that file there.
Abba. And
the person will be waiting. Something that is supposed to be executed quickly. You understand? Will not be. So these are some of the consequences of civil servants not coming to work because the governor is not in town.
They are halting the direction of governors.
Yes.
Nothing happens without them because they implement most of those things. Most of our governance directives, such civil servants implement it, and now you are not coming to office.
Okay, so let's move on from the Sun now to other papers this morning. Let's see which one we have. The Punch. 32 governors, 8,450 delegates arrive Abuja for APC convention. 32 governors, 8,450 delegates arrive Abuja for APC convention. Okay, we have this
decided convention already. Let me put it that way.
That is,
we can't say
we are not aware.
We are not aware. Let's use his word against it.
Yes,
we are not aware.
It's an alleged pre-decided convention.
We are not aware of that.
It's an alleged pre-decided convention.
So let's move on. Please let's check out this. Ali to be crowned Ibadan Oba despite governor's bid. Ali to be crowned Ibadan Oba despite governor bid. Yes, this story is really interesting. Senator Ali will be crowned one of the Obas in Oyo State, and he has this ambition to be the governor there.
Okay.
So now some persons are saying that is it that they have that's a gentleman agreement that we'll crown you as one of the chiefs now in this state and drop your Oba, your governorship ambition or something.
And
then forget about
go
back to you are still a senator,
exactly.
And you are one of the chiefs. Some are saying the constitution does not stop him from.
It doesn't.
So that's what the story is really talking about. Some see him as a very strong contender, but now that they want to crown him as one of the Obas in Oyo. So will he still continue with that governorship ambition? So that's a big question there.
Well, that depends on the level of his ambition as a person.
Yes.
You know, these things are personal.
Yeah.
These things are
depends on the individual too. If it's one that is clouded with ambition, I can assure you, will go for the governorship.
He still go for the governorship, even though he's being crowned as a chief.
So it depends on the ambition. Level of the individual.
Like you always say, you don't know what has happened behind the scene.
The closed door meetings.
Yes, so the government cannot just like that see someone that is very popular, that has ambition to become something, and say they still want to crown him again. So there must be one discussion here and behind the scene that look, we'll crown you and forget about being the governor at least for now.
I just forget. There is a similar thing that once happened in one of these northern states.
Yeah.
Yes, but the guy refused. He took the title and then continued to went ahead and contested for his office, I think, of a senator or something like that.
Roger, I want to
got
ask
to
a
which
question.
state?
Sorry, I'm going to take us back a bit. The convention that is coming up is tomorrow, right?
It's today.
Today, now.
Today.
Today is Friday.
Today is Friday.
Today is Friday.
Started
Have
today.
have you seen any poster anywhere?
That was the point he was making
Is
yesterday.
that not what we were saying yesterday? It's more of consensus now. So there are other issues to be discussed.
That was why even the city gate was closed.
In the first place, I think
control.
Part of it is going to be who is going to be the flag bearer for the next election. Part of the party. Is that also?
Don't worry.
We'll discuss this.
We'll discuss that in the course of the program. So the essence of a convention is very, very necessary for every political party. It's part of it's part of the law. Yeah, it's part of the law. Now you recall that early this week, the regional conventions were held in the 6 geopolitical zones, right? The local government had their own, the state had their own, they elected their champions. Now it is the national convention where they will now meet and say, okay, this is our position for the party going forward.
How the party structure will look like, who will run what and what. Do you understand? The national working committees, etc., etc. But why the competition is going to be very rigorous is that whoever controls the national working committee controls the presidential ticket. That is why you see
there's certain positions.
Exactly.
Others have been given their certain positions to start to squish the men.
Exactly.
So when I say,
and then they also have to put into consideration the zoning.
When I said pre-decided convention, I don't know
which state.
There are positions that are still being contested for.
While some are not.
Yes, that is in the national chairman and the secretary, I think, for the APC. But other, like who is the vice chairman South, vice chairman not this and not that. Or there are other positions that are being contested for.
They will also consider from which zone so person will come
from. And all. So the party will look at, okay, if the national chairman is from the north as it were now, let the secretary come from this zone. So even in the zonal, those who control the zonal arm of the party, okay, from which zone of the zones.
Exactly.
So that's
a very complicated something.
So I want to comment.
The convention,
I think the APC seems to be structured and organized, and they are moving.
Okay, so we move on to our next paper. Which one do we have next? Very, very quickly, and it is sports now. Tosin the He-Man exclusive. Okay, my Falconets to Falcon journey. Yeah, she once played for the Falconets, but now a Falcon, player. That's talking about the female national team or the women national team of Nigeria.
Okay.
So she's one of
journey from Falconet to Falcon.
Yes. Iwobi gets CPL Player of the Month nod, and I want to become Chelsea legend according to Kesiedo. So many stories in the world of sport for you to check out in Sports Extra, courtesy of the Punch newspaper. We're going for a quick break now. When we return, I will dive into the issue of the day. All right, welcome back. Welcome back to the P&B Morning Show this Friday morning. I am Omike Joseph Matthew, and the team, of course, are here. So let's quickly dive into our very first issue this morning. Quickly. The stage is now set, the stakes are high, and the moment is already unfolding in Abuja as the All Progressives Congress 2026 National Convention gets underway. This is not just another party gathering. It is a defining moment that could reshape the internal power structure of the ruling party and set the tone for the 2027 general elections. As delegates converge and deliberations begin, the big question takes center stage. Will this convention reinforce unity or expose cracks within the party? Who emerges stronger in the battle for influence? And what signals will come out of Abuja about the party's strategy moving forward? So this morning, we take you straight to the hearts of the action, breaking down key developments, power dynamics, and what it all means for Nigeria's political future. We hope to have an APC chieftain who will be joining us virtually in the course of the discussion. But once he joins, he's yet to join us. But once he joins us, we will introduce him to you. So I still have Ibrahim Shaibu in the studio, and of course Chidi. Yes, Chidi Kenneth is also in the studio here. So, gentlemen, Abuja is agog. Since yesterday, we could see the signs of, sign that something's about to happen in Abuja. So today is the D-Day. The convention is here. The APC National Convention is here. And like you saw during our newspaper review, over 8,000 delegates are already in town. 32 governors are also in town. So what do we expect from this convention today from the APC as a ruling party?
Well, this convention is definitely not just a routine gathering of some kind, but a very mega political movement ahead of our 2027 general election. And then our expectation here is that it may involve selection of leaders who run the affairs of the party in preparation of the 2027 general election. And then we will begin to see the influence of the president, the incumbent president, as regards this election, because this is what we see on by his body movement. And most likely, we may see a consensus candidate emerge, because this is what the body language of the party and the president himself is suggesting. And then we'll begin to see maybe battle for party structures and then zoning tension, because it is very important for the party to make sure that the zoning issue is well managed, because if they do not manage the zoning issue very well, it may lead the party into some kind of a problem ahead of the election. And the opposition may likely take advantage of that. Seeing a crack, they will now try to manipulate and make use of this crack, particularly as we begin to see a possible or likely marriage of convenience between the three very super mega actors from the opposition party. By that, I mean Atiku Abubakar, Peter Obi, and the Konkoso. So that is why they have to be very, very careful in managing this particular zoning issue within the APC during this convention.
All right. A couple the fact that, of course, I understand, the position you are trying to take. They need to make sure that everything goes well for them and all that. But we have issues we still have issues in Bauchi State. We have issues in Bauchi State that is yet to be resolved, because during the state congress last week, 2 weeks ago, the emergence of who is the APC chairman in Bauchi State chapter of the party is still causing a lot. In fact, the working committee, the state working committee there is still an issue there. The issue trying to resolve the problem here in Abuja, and another set of people are trying to cause chaos there. So the APC cannot wait for a particular chapter to put spanner on the wheel of progress of the party in any form. And again, we still have another issue of some persons whom are perceived not to be happy with what is going on, because they want to contest for some certain positions and they are not allowed to buy forms to contest for the positions, as if they are depriving them of not contesting. These are issues that is still there. So while I will, Kenneth, I'll come back to you now, but I really want us to really understand what is really going on here. Now, Masari, who of course is the chairman of the All Progressives Congress Convention Central Working Committee, and Bello Masari, the former
governor of Katsina and speaker.
Yes, the former speaker, and of course Katsina State Governor. You know, he came out 2 days ago to talk about the convention because he is the chairman of this convention. He made the clarification while reacting to allegation that some aspirants paid for forms for the NWC position but were denied. He said, like I said, I will repeat, APC is a responsible party in line with the federal character principle. All offices are zoned. If you come to buy a form, you must buy only for the position set aside for your zone. So according to him, he said, from the zones, these people people that are alleging that they are being deprived of buying forms. So what he's saying is that now in the zone, the positions have been zoned in another zone, that maybe zone A of it. Then somebody will now come from zone B. Let me use the word allegedly. To come from zone B, I want to come and contest. Want to buy form. Wants to buy form to contest the position that has already been zoned to that zone. So by so doing, by that they now know that you are from zone B, but the party has decided that no, this position is for the zone A. From this zone, they will now deny you from buying the form. So these are the people who are now aggrieved, and some of them are saying that they want to go to court, but they said he's not aware of that. But if they want to go to court, they are waiting for them to go to court. So Chidi, this is where I want you to come in here now. So is this not like a sign of crack? Would this comment? Yes.
First of all, I want to say thank you very much for this wonderful question, and I want to believe that the question, like I will always say, is timely. Timely in the sense that this is the day the opposition has been waiting for, and they are glad to see what is going to be the outcome. Prior to this time, we've had oppositions ambushing, as it were, in the previous times. You know, when a big masquerade is about to come out in a festival, other small masquerade will be watching to see how the dance will look like. And this is what is going to happen today. You know, talking about a crack now to what the analysis you've just given. OJ, it is expected in the sense that the ship, you know, conveying or the voyage, the movement of the political party APC, as it were, is a collection of so many giants. And there's a saying that goes that you can't have 2 captains in a ship, but in this ship we have several captains. So who is going to steer the ship correctly? That is what is playing out now. There are a lot of heavyweights in APC now. And of course, this all heavyweights is a collection of interest, strong political bigwigs, strong deep pockets, and what have you. So today we are going to see people who, it will be a clash of political ego, political pride is going to play out today. You know, there's a local saying in our palace, I know agree. Now in the tear shirt. So today we are going to see that I know agree today because some people will tell you I am of course the clash is going to be mostly between the stay-light, the old APC members that have been there even before the emergence of Bola Tinubu as the president, and those ones that just joined by way of defection up to 8 months ago or even 3 months ago, and probably they have deep pockets. We are going to see all these clashes. You know, there's this psychology about I come before you. I dare here before you come. Why would you be the one to come and be the one to buy the form? Because you are closer to the chairman of the state or what have you. And mind you, the clash going on in Bauchi State. Bauchi, as it is now, is still a PDP state. The governor is hell-bent of not, defecting yet, as the last time I heard him talk. So you should expect cracks, because anywhere we have a strong opposition party ruling in a place like Bauchi, we should know from the body language that there must be an imposition. Allegedly, these are the instruments of political battles. I plant my member in your party, you plant your own in my party, and they will come in as members, but they are wolves in sheep clothings. So today we are going to see, old members versus new members, all one member of a party jostling for positions, and then we're going to see, a lot of, political pride and ego clashing.
All right, Madam Brian, let's look at it from here. In every association, there must be strong leadership.
Exactly.
Okay, so can we now take it from this perspective that now the APC as a ruling party are trying to make sure that, look, every member of the party is disciplined. Is somebody that can be is somebody that can be controlled and not make the party look lawless. Where because you have deep pockets, will make you think you think your opinion you think your opinion must supersede others. Because from his comment, he said some persons want to cause confusion, and that is what they are trying to avoid. That the party is a ruling party, and with the way the Nigeria, the country is structured, and federal character, whatever will always come to play. So if in the party level, a certain section of a particular place is holding a position, then the other side that is not holding a position now should enjoy something else. Yes. Are you getting it now? So that is like the way they want to. So they want everybody to have the feel. You understand the feel of please. I'm asking him a question, not you now. Okay. You understand? So is this not what the party is doing? But some people are trying to say, making to look as if they are trying to disenfranchise them from.
Exactly.
Yes. So,
this is natural. You see, in a political party, is a group of people that have divergent views. Divergent idiosyncrasies and all that, and for a party to be successful, there has to be all these kind of people,
strong leadership,
strong leadership, and then all those people that are saying no, although a particular position has been zoned to another position, I also want to contest. Otherwise, you are trampling on my political right. This is also expected, but they are doing that so that, like you suggested, at the end of the day, they'll say, "Look, chill down. We are all working toward progress and success. We are all working toward progress and success." Avoid that place because as a consensus, we are agreed that this particular position is zoned to so place. In place of that, you can now vie for another position and you can stand by you. Oh, they are doing all this so the agreement can be reached. Not that they are trying to pull their party downward. You understand? Yeah. I saw this happen particularly in my state where people will start making noise and shouting about similar issues. At the end of the day, you will see them after the party has become successful, you will see them holding a very strategic position, even better than the position they were fighting for during the convention. So I think this is across the states, and the national body has always been expecting them to settle their differences before they now arrive at the national level. But all those problems that is happening across regions and states will not stop or try to divert the attention of the convention that's going to take place today in Abuja. It will still be managed even while this national convention is taking place. It always happens because parties are very large association of people, and you should always expect such a thing happening.
And I want to agree with Kenneth that all these things that are coming up could be as a result of perhaps these positions that have been zoned to a particular zone, you understand? Could be that you want the position wants to benefit someone who just came to the party.
Exactly.
You are trying to.
Yes, and they are always. I want it.
Okay, now I'm going to direct my analysis to the president. Straight to the president. You must commend President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for being a good negotiator, reconciliator.
You can give that to him.
Give it to him.
You can always give that to him.
Give that to him. Ever since he stepped into power, he has brought in the good, the bad, and the ugly together. Manage everybody as a father that he is. He is a political scientist by excellence.
Honestly, in a long time, I haven't seen a calculative politician.
I've never seen a political leader. He's the leader of the party, mind you. I've never seen a political leader like President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. I'm saying it straight with that sentiment. Who knows how to work with every kind of human being.
So in essence,
I'm coming.
Yes. So go quickly. So we want to wrap up. Yes.
This is a man who brought in Bola, brought in the likes of Omoko.
We know all that. So what point are you trying to make?
The point I'm trying to drive in. Yes. In as much as he's trying to be the father of all, he should also know he cannot manage everybody. There are still people who are ingrates. There are still people who will still be the local skin will always play out. There are those that no matter what you do for them, who they are is who they are, and that is what is going to play out today. So people,
the president does not call the shots. In the party, even though he's the national leader, you understand. We have people managing. We have people managing the party.
Not in this clan. If the president is interested in you now, being the head of the zone, it's just a phone call away.
I agree with you,
Yes,
because even in this convention,
then the chairman of that zone, other big wigs in that zone that I will be saying, AJ, I told you, psychology. I came here before you. I've been here from ICP, I've been IC, what's that party? Body created?
APC.
No, there's a party before they met APC.
CPC.
There are those that have been a member of CPC down, that migrated down to APC.
People like
have been working.
Governor of Nasarawa,
they are there. So these things will play out. It's a human thing, even in animals.
Okay.
So we're going to see it today, OJ.
Okay.
So we will like when we try to analyze things and we try to use English to paint it. It is like that. I first you come.
Okay. All right. Let's see how the convention pans out at the end of the day. We expect that it will go down well. All issues will be resolved, and a lot of Nigerians are actually watching out what APC will do at the end of the day, and even like you said earlier, the other opposition parties will also be looking keenly to what is unfolding in Eagle Square right here in Abuja. So we'll be there to bring you all the dramas or the latest from the convention as the convention gets underway in Abuja today. We're going for a quick break. When we return after the break, we'll dive into another issue that is affecting us as a nation. Do stay with us. All right, welcome back to the show, P&B Morning Show, right here on Politics and Business Television, Abuja. Now, so we dive into our next, topic of the day on the program this morning. Now, for years, Nigerians have heard the same story: promises made, targets missed, and then the apologies. From nationwide grid collapses to erratic power supply, the circle has become all too familiar. But the question many are asking now is simple: how long can apologies replace real solutions? The power sector remains the backbone of any serious economy, yet businesses continue to struggle. Households rely on alternatives, and confidence in the system continues to decline. So each failure comes with explanations, but very little changes where it matters most: consistent electricity supply. So this morning, we ask the tough question: is it still about challenges, or is it about accountability? When do we move from apologies to action? And who must take responsibility? So we'll break this down this morning on the program. And we're glad to have someone who is familiar with this sector talking about our power sector, or energy sector as it were, whichever we want to put it. So we have someone who is here to break all these things down for us this morning. He is Kunle Kola Olubio. He is the president, Nigeria Consumer Protection Network. Good morning to you, sir.
It's my pleasure to be here. Congratulations on your studio.
Okay.
I've not been privileged to be here for once. This is my first time. Remember the last place you are, and I'm so elicited by the level of progress
made so far, right?
And I believe that you can still expand further.
Oh, of course, of
go
course.
global.
Yes, that's
CNN, like Fox News.
That's the dream. Thank you very much. It's nice having you this morning. And Kenneth is also still in the studio with us. My colleague Kenneth is still here, so you will be.
Kenneth, what?
My name is Kenneth. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you. It's my pleasure.
Nice to have you.
Okay.
Thank you.
So you may be getting
calls.
The questions from both sides, from left and right.
I thought you are talking about response from Nigeria.
Nigerians are
the central seat.
Yeah,
you are sitting on the seat of Nigeria.
Well, like your introduction implied that you've not said I'm from Ministry of Power.
No, don't. Yeah.
You said I'm from Office of the President. So I usually enjoy the privilege of the fact that I'm representing you and I. Even Mr. President is an end user customer, it's a consumer.
At the end of the day,
it's because I have to be here at my own expense, and any TV or radio station that I go, I do that. There must be an underlying passion, selfless services. So, and the moment I met an MD of a disco, and he was, I have a WhatsApp group, and he was telling me, please, can you put up a write-up? Let's support your WhatsApp group so that we can give you like 5 or 10 million naira for free. Do you understand what I'm saying? And I declined. What it means is that I'll be mortgaging the interest of millions of end user customers. Yes, that money is a free money. But the moment you collect such money, if you put any comment or say anything about non-performance or infraction, he will call you and say, is this coming from you? So before you go into consumer rights advocacy or protection of consumer rights, you must be able to take your mind or eyes from incentive and the trappings of corruption and what have you, and practice what you preach. So let's have your questions.
All right. Thank you very much, Kunle Kola.
Thank you.
Of course, he is a member, National Technical Investigative Panel on Power Systems Collapse, System Stability and Reliability in 2013. That's in June 2013. And it's also a member, Presidential Ad Hoc Committee on Review of Electricity Tariff in Nigeria in the year 2020, August to be precise, in the year 2020.
Thank you very much.
Now, that is why I want to ask you this question, because for me to add this to your portfolio has a big reason. System collapse. I can't even count how many times we've had system grid collapse this year alone. So what is the problem? You are there. I know you may not.
It's still collapsing,
and it
has collapsed, and it's still collapsing, and it will still collapse.
Good. There's someone who knows these dynamics, who is there, who knows the sector very well. Can you just give us a hint on what is going on?
Thank you very much for having me. You know, let me break it down to the basics. In a typical home, if you have a generator, small embedded generation that you call a personal neighbor. If you fuel it and you use it continuously for 2 months, 3 months, after some time you will notice that the voltage rating will drop.
Okay.
What it means is that it's either it will not peak, it will drop, or it will not start at all. What it means is that if you use the generator for 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, you're supposed to change the oil and do the servicing. So if you are using a generator and you are not servicing it, of course, you get reverse of what is designed to perform. If you have a truck or trailer and there are roads, you are loading what we call hardcore or chippings or what have you for construction site, and your route is paper route, it's uphill, and you have to descend. The first thing you need to do is to make sure that your brake is in order, is to make sure that your horn is in order, because even if you have a brake, all of us that drive a car, if your horn is faulty, what you'll be saying is that, come on there. You need horn, is very important. If you are driving at night, the basic safety valves, you need light at night. Now, I'm a Christian, and if you go and you start driving articulate vehicle and you put a banner on it, His grace is sufficient for me. You get my point?
And you're not servicing the vehicle.
And you're not servicing the vehicle, no brake.
The grace will disappear.
This grace will disappear.
So in essence,
So what we are saying in essence is that
yes,
our grid network was designed and installed, constructed over 40, 50 years ago.
wow,
And basically, funds, resources meant for expansion of the grid, meant for maintenance of the grid, have not been judiciously managed. Last weekend, we had an engagement with the president of Nigeria Labour Congress about the transmission company of Nigeria. You have a transmission leg that was designed, most of the infrastructure were designed over 30. The recent one is not even less than 20 years. Now, there's what we call the system protective scheme. If you have a smoke on the network, there's a fire sensor. If you have a fault, there are different layers of system protection that's supposed to trip off on its own. When they become inoperative, that means those equipment are obsolete. So if you transport electricity from generation to transmission, which attracts wheeling charges, as the go between generation and distribution downstream, the transporter of that product is the transmission. You see the line in the forest, in the bush, as it's described locally. If you don't maintain such network, if you are going from Asaba to Ebu and Ila in Delta State, you see the peculiarity of the vegetation. You have rubber trees growing under the network. If a rubber tree is growing under the network and it grows to the extent that it's touching the grid, the leaf of the vegetation from the trees under the network, once it touches the network, it will burn and the line will trip off, because the line is so sensitive that there's a transient fault that will occur. So such vegetation encroachment of the grid is supposed to be taken care of with caterpillar, as it's called in local parlance, or you cut them by whatever means. That's mechanized vegetation control. So if you have funds that comes into transmission subsector, like we have witnessed of late, and you have a leadership in place that instead of doing maintenance of the grid, they are voting such funds to landscaping of transmission substation. You want to landscape a transmission substation in Biu, in Oshogbo, you want to do fencing. This budget line of project has no direct correlation to the operational efficiency of the grid.
Okay. Now, if you are building this, the landscaping station now
to make the station aesthetic.
Now, but you have issue in the forest somewhere.
You have issues of vegetation encroachment
somewhere.
There's what they call the skidder. There's what they call the telemetry. Like a telemetry or skidder, what it does is that, like the generation upstream, we have upstream where you have generation and gas. You have midstream where you have the transmission leg. Then you have the downstream where you have the discos. Like the generation upstreams have been making claims of debt. They are saying that the debt of federal government shortage, when they generate, they put to the grid, that transmission is transmitting and the distribution is distributing to us. Now, in an average day, they will say they generate 5,000 megawatts. Now, this system of collation of data, they are not scientific in nature.
Okay.
When you have human beings using the manual process to generate invoices,
yes,
as against having SCADA, as against having telemetry, we put all the transmission feeders, distribution feeders. You know, like now, I'm in Garki, I'm within Garki area too. My feeder is Garki feeder, H1 left. You have Maraba feeder, Abacha Road, 33 kV feeders. They are all names. And each feeder is supposed to be metered. The meter is supposed to synchronize with an automated system. So if you have a telemetry of voltage and current, you have a telemetry of frequency, that when the frequency is 50 Hz, which is the approved standard, if it drops to 45, there will be system collapse.
Yes.
So
and
you must
go beyond
it's the same thing. So frequency load management, telemetry will capture. If, for example, now there is claim by the generation that they put 2,000 megawatts to Abuja leg, You know, each state has a feeder that goes in.
Yeah.
The whole of Lokoja,
Yeah.
there are feeders that supply Kogi.
Yes.
There are feeders that supply your state of origin. So most of these feeders, one, there are leakages. There are no check meters. The state government that is setting up the State Electricity Regulatory Commission,
yes,
if you put a meter, transmission leg meter, the state government is supposed to put a check meter, so that if you claim that 100 megawatts was given to Kogi State or Abuja, the check meter will help the state to reconcile.
So is that where the problem? Yeah, sorry. Is that where the problem is? Where the Gencos are saying that federal government is owing there about, is it 5 billion?
By the end of this year, to be 8 trillion.
8 trillion. I beg you.
8 trillion. But when you ask the capacity charges, 4 trillion to be 12 trillion in a privatized sector, and because it's not automated, there's an exchange. You see, most of the staff of the generation, transmission, and distribution, there are old hands recruited from the old PACN and NEPA. Okay. So there is a synergy of gaming of the system. There's a conspiracy theory from our own perspective.
And is that the perspective? Are you now talking about the point of NLC?
Not NLC now.
Per se.
The system is not automated. If collation of data is devoid of corruption, as much as possible, human element. There was an argument between a folk from Embed and Generation, and they were talking about, oh, where's your data? Where's the invoice for this year? You will notice that those information were not scientifically computed. For the past 4 years, we've been making attempts to procure SCADA that will have helped the system, and this telemetry. We've not been able to do that because Nigerians benefit from a system that gives room for inefficiency. Look at the collection of the discos. Nobody knows how much exactly a disco operator collects. So this lack of leadership, lack of governance structure, lack of fiscal discipline, lack of collection efficiency, billing efficiency, a whole gamut of how a grid is not supposed to be run. If you want to do a PhD thesis on how a grid is not supposed to be run, you come to Nigeria. You get my point? So, and our equipments are obsolete.
So these are the
fundamentals. Whatever system collapses you are talking as well, these are symptomatic dynamics. The real issue is the corruption. It's the corruption. Let my people go. If we are ready to make sure, see, if a generation says this is what they have generated, transmission, everybody in the loop, if you are in the loop, you will see the energy flow, inflow and outflow, the frequency, you will see Katampe feeder, you will see this. For example, there are GIS or GPS that from this studio, you can monitor the highway and monitor substations. When a Katampe substation went up in flame, the transmission officials and the disco did not know.
Because the equipment are not there.
Yeah. The equipments are so designed that if there's an issue, the equipment will send the signal to the system. So we don't even have a practical grid. It is not a rocket science, but this inefficiency is making a lot of people to profit from it and smile to the bank.
Wow.
I honestly have just been, my body has just been biting.
So quickly,
because I can see that you really have serious understanding of what is going on, and I must commend you, sir. But I want to ask one question. From what you have said so far, you've listed the problems, you've shown, you've exposed certain things. Are you saying that the power sector needs to be unbundled?
Yeah.
That's the first question. Secondly, are you saying that the absence of technology is because you just mentioned the last
technology, yes,
the Katapia extension was born and nobody knows.
Even we lost billions of infrastructure in Kanji Shiroro leg about last year or there about because the system protection failed.
I need to take these 3 things. You also mentioned we inherited some old folks, and these old folks, not only in power sector, we have also in other ministries, old folks who have been the devil, playing the devil advocate in every ministry that will determine what the PAMSEC will do.
Yeah.
They are the one that tells the new PAMSEC organ like this, they do them here. And when you don't follow that script,
this is the culture.
They also know how to frustrate you not to succeed. So are you saying that means what you are saying is that the power sector needs to be totally unbundled. One, and then technology must be plunged into it full force. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, exactly. You see, the truth of the matter is that you can't give what you don't have. For example, during my membership of the Technical Investigative Panel on System Collapses, we were in Benin with the folks from the Benin Regional Office of the Transmission Subsector. And we're asking for, it's investigative panel, how the data were generated. And there was supposed to be like the use of infrared. We were informed that an infrared camera is a specialized camera that you can use to trace the line. When you place it on the line, it will show you whether a breaker is faulty, a line is about to cut, that will reduce to snap. Watch your eyes.
You don't have such technology.
Yes, we have technology. But unfortunately, they told us that the information, they did an analogy. The information that was given before us was generated through infrared camera. And I said, who is the operator of the infrared? And the guy came out and said, look, can you go to, because if you go to the meter that is at your transformer in your street has a meter. If you see a box, it's telemetry. The feeder that feeds your own location is called maybe 500 kVA, 300 kVA. It has its own meter. When the disco official comes and take the billing of the those on meters within that area, because just like the bank, some of these ladies you see go around and these realtors, they give them target. They will tell them that if your area not minding your disposable income, they will tell them that they should generate 50 million. So every other person who is on prepaid meter can control what they use and what they are billed. But the people that bear the burden, even if there's no light, if you stay in Masaka, if you stay in Ado, if you stay in Area 1 or what have you, if you stay in Karimu, even when you don't get electricity, you are on band Z. Once those on prepaid meter who are safe, whose head is safe, once they are taken out of the billing, because all the energy that comes into a given area is usually metered. Once they take those prepaid meter out, it will show prepaid meter. Every other balance of energy that is presumed to have come to that area will be shared among those unestimated bill, irrespective of the volume of energy they receive supply to them, even when they get less than 10%.
So is that where the bone of contention?
That's an energy theft against the consumer. Yes, it's an energy theft. Now, if you go to the grid, there are obsolete meters. There are meters on the grid, transmission, generation, distribution, interface. Cascading of electricity from generation, transmission, and interfaces. They have different points of interfaces. Now it's where they meet. It's supposed to be meter. If a meter at that point is obsolete, if they are wrongly installed and it's not capturing well the voltage and the current, even the recent AMR meters on the grid, now the billing that the generation will be given, there will be discrepancy between generation billing and transmission billing and distribution billing. Deliberately and intentionally, there will be gaming of the system. Now, if a staff of transmission, generation and distribution, if they work in the same office before, like Kanji or what have you, under NEPA, there will be conspiracy theory. And so what they will compute against federal government will not be scientifically verifiable. And there are systems that can take care of all these human elements.
You're talking about systematic corruption.
Yes, I'm even talking about shortchanging of people's market. Because all this pass on cost. If you say you generate 5,000 megawatts, and what comes to us at the end of the day is 3,000 megawatts. Yet, as the market, as the end, when you're talking about the market, it's the customers. When you say you generate 5,000 megawatts and everybody in synergy agreed that's 5,000 megawatts, that is on the basis on which the tariff will be determined. That is the what to be passed on cost to the customers. So we are paying for energy
within consume
and technical losses. These are the issues that's of grave concern to us. And this system could be addressed if at the level of leadership of NEC and the regulatory institutions and NEMSA, if we decide to get it right with the telemetry and SCADA, it will take out all these human element and we'll pay for federal government will pay for exactly what is being consumed. And moving forward, electricity is a commodity. For you to generate a megawatt of electricity, it requires huge investment, as little as 1 megawatt, which is in dollar.
Yeah.
Now, 100 megawatts will cost you on the average, 1.3 million US dollar. That's about 1 point something billion. You understand what I'm saying? So it's an investment. Now, Nigeria will require $20 billion to achieve a gas master plan. The truth of the matter is that 75% of energy being generated to the grid, they are sourced from thermal stations. That is gas to power generation.
Yes.
Now, because of domestic supply obligation, DSO, the OPEC benchmark is that when you produce gas, crude oil, and all the variables that is related to byproduct of crude oil, propane, butane, LPFO, AGO, and what have you. When you produce them, it is benchmarked by OPEC standard that 50% for export, 50% for domestic.
Domestic, okay.
But we have sold our common patrimony under the last administration.
So in our own case now,
let me lay it. Because the former administration did not want to sack public workers, we're running largely on recurrent, maybe 75% recurrent and 25% capital, which does not stimulate development or growth. Recurrent means that the cost of servicing the appetite of our public office holder, our politicians, not just salaries.
It's not salaries.
When every time a National Assembly member, its assembly, every time they are inaugurated, they will buy SUV vehicle
for them.
They have 8.
Renovate their offices.
The cost of maintaining
governance,
governance and the democratic governance, one that is taking the bulk of the 75% of recurrent.
Yes.
If you do recurrent to a government ministry or MDAs, majority of the money will go, like I was talking about, landscaping or what have you. It will go to consumables. So when you come there as a verifier or auditor, they will have issued stock receipt, store receipt voucher for toilet roll and newspaper, and A4 paper and toner. Then at the same time, the same person will sign stock invoice that will take the thing out. So there will be entry to show that the commodity has come in. There will be another document to show that it has been consumed. So what are you evaluating? So when you spend money on recurrent, mainly in Nigeria, which has been the pattern, it is to service corruption. If Tinubu comes into MDAs or ministry and tighten all the belt and block all the loopholes, within 1 week, the bureaucrat of those
cost of governance is another big.
Everybody in the system, public service or governance, the expectation is that if you put them in a place where they are not seeing money to steal, where they are not seeing voucher, you will see some airlines that have been closed for 20 years. They still have the tickets in some ministry that they are using for retirement.
Yes.
Retirement of expenditure. That what forgery is more than that. Now, so these are the areas that our majority of our budget, 70% of them goes to things that don't even have value.
Now, back to the issue of our power sector here. Before we talk about the apology of the minister, let's be now at least be. I just want to play the devil's advocate here now. The discourse. Sometimes TCN will say they send a particular megawatt to a particular disco, and they refuse
load rejection.
Yes,
it's
load rejection. Why is that?
It is obvious.
And on whose cost?
It is obvious.
Yes.
In the past, we have designed network based on political exigency.
Yes.
Electricity, whether we like it or not, is a product, is a commodity, just like crude oil. And today, the hydro generation weighted cost, that is their selling cost, is about 60 to 65 naira. That is the cost they sell to the grid, that the bulk buyer pick the energy from them. It's about 65 naira. We have Niger Delta Power Holding Company. They don't have a special rate for buying gas.
Okay.
You understand? They buy gas at the same rate that other IPPs who are thermal station buy gas. They are allowed to sell their energy at about, say, 90 naira.
Okay.
Now, the most expensive amongst them is Azura. power plant that was set up in Edo State.
Mm.
They are allowed to recover the cost at selling price of 120 naira per kilowatt hour.
Okay.
Now I'm on band A. When I vend 1,000, I usually get 4 units, which is I'm paying like 250 naira per kilowatt hour.
Yeah.
For band A, that's the actual cost.
Mm.
Taking into consideration the tax and other deductions.
Mm.
So the truth of the matter is that those leakages that we have talked about, there are indices that is usually used in computing multi-year tariff order, which is used benchmark in determining the tariff. You understand what I'm saying? Customer population, exchange rate volatility, and what have you. We are telling you that before you benchmark the value of megawatts of electricity, it is the actual energy that goes to us at the end of the day. And we have identified, that's why I took the time to create an expose of the leakages. There are technical losses, there are commercial losses, there are collection losses. The inefficiencies of the discos, they are aggregating the pass-on costs of the cost they are paying for tariff.
Okay.
So
To the consumer.
To the consumer, we are behind the market.
Yes.
Whatever you bring into the market, the burden is passed on to the consumer. You get my point?
Yes.
Now, take a look at it. Gas accounts for 75% of the energy that comes to the grid. Now, the gas power plants, the federal government said, look, the IOCs should sell gas to the gas power plant at $2.50. Recently, the Nigerian Upstream Regulatory Commission, retrospectively from July last year, have added the cost of transportation, $1.13. When you put all that together, it will give you a quantum of $3.80
or something.
No, I said $2.50 plus $1.13. It will give you $3.63.
63 cents, almost $3.
That is the cost of selling gas to the gas thermal station locally, based on, I told you, OPEC quota, DSO, domestic supply obligation.
Yes.
Now, ordinarily, the difference between electricity is like gold, is priced as a global commodity. If you see Dangote refinery, even when we have gas in Nigeria and crude oil in Nigeria, Dangote have to pay the value of gas that you will have paid for in US. It's just that maybe the cost of transportation in naira.
Yes.
They will not say because it's the Nigerian refinery, let us sell to you at this. Yeah, they're going to benchmark it. It's money for hand, whatever for grant.
Yes.
You understand? Back for grant. So now the Gencos upstream, they are buying at $3.63. Now the industries in Nigeria, they are being benchmarked. They are willing to buy, and they are buying at $8.
Wow.
For the same gas. The international community, because of the surge of Middle East crisis, they are offering $12 for the same gas. Now take a look at it. The Gencos that the gas suppliers have given supply over the years, they are being owned by the end. They'll be owned by the end of this year, 8 trillion.
8 trillion.
We are not even sure of how that money is going to be defrayed. MBET, which was supposed to be like the bulk buyer and operate for a given period of time during the transition electricity market, maybe for 5 years or what have you. MBET originally was designed not to be a permanent structure. MBET and NEMCO, they are transition licenses of NEC. MBET was supposed to be capitalized by Nigeria Sovereign Investment Fund. You understand? The funds for it, or pension fund. They were not capitalized. MBET supposed to, the generation supposed to generate, there should be a firm commitment, like a power purchase agreement and vesting contract between MBET and Gencos. Gencos don't have business with the discos, whether they pay or not. It is the MBET that has come as a safety valve.
So is that
as
what,
a bulk buyer.
Is that what MBET is saying? Yesterday, the MD is saying, okay, they've offset some of the debts.
No. What we are saying is that MBETs have been turned in reverse mode. MBET is supposed to provide instruments to the generation company and say, look, this XY volume. You see, if you want to buy gas and crude oil, you pay in advance. we're in March.
Has been done?
Yes, we're in March. The supply that will be put in the market for the next 3 months or 6 months, commitments have been made. When you are doing international business, you don't have to bring cash. There are non-irrevocable bank guarantee, sovereign guarantee, partial risk guarantee, put call option agreement. There are different instruments in which international business is transacted. You will not put money in your portfolio or your this thing and go and
LCs and the rest of
LC. Now, for example, I have told you that the thermal stations are buying at $2, $3,
63
cents.
Yes.
Yet they are owing. That if you are a business minded entity, and you are getting order from Europe, you are getting from West African country that are ready to pay upfront,
even locally, you still make money.
And now they are ready to pay $8. Now you are talking about, you don't said these products are not sold on sentiment. We have crude oil in the basin, Egbama, Oguta, South. We could not develop them, and we asked the oil majors, these 8 oil majors, MOF, Mobil, Shell, and what have you, to come and invest. Then you have the equity sharing formula, cash call, and what have you. Now, what we may need to do and review is our joint venture contract and joint venture agreement. Some of the agreements we signed 30, 40 years ago, they are obsolete. They are not in tune with this current reality that may favor us. So the truth of the matter is that we will continue to have low generation. We'll continue to have system collapses because the more generation you put on grid, the more stability and reliability you will enjoy. Now, if we cannot pay for gas, the money that MBES has raised, I was invited to the program in Lagos. MBES, after all said and done, the Mr. President approved that MBES should raise money from the capital market. MBES was able to raise 501 billion in the first tranche. They are intending to raise additional 800 billion, which will give us about 1.something trillion. That money that was raised last year, that money have not been disbursed to the discos. So if a debtor that has owned, even if the only thing they need to do is do verification of the claims. Once they do the verification, and if there are scientific or technology that I've mentioned before in place, there will be no need for human being sitting on the table. Where's your voucher? Where is this? I want to do forensic this using your eyes. Just like, when I was living around Abacha Road, I recall that some of the military men, when they are doing checkpoint around the checkpoint between Nasarawa State to Abacha Barrack after Nyanya, Kubo, they will say they are doing checkpoint and they'll be using the eyes to check inside the vehicle instead of using technology, bomb detector and what have you. So forensic that you are doing, you are looking at the paper, carrying it like this. It will not make a difference. Scientific devices, telemetry, skidders, and technology on the grid along the interface, the metering and what have you, making sure that those meters, like I've told you, that is for changing federal government of Nigeria and the public that are wrongly installed or obsolete or that have lacked integrity of the grid, making sure they are replaced, making sure we get the right thing, making sure we provide the right leadership. Power sector fixing the problem is not a rocket
So are we now saying that the apologies will not end soon?
Well, the minister is a politician and I sympathize with him because he doesn't have control over gas. The minister will go, he
doesn't have control over this issue.
Gas is the main thing.
See, let me tell you, the ministry, if a minister of gas, minister of power calls the management of the leadership of Nigerian Gas Company or some of this company, if it's not the minister petroleum gas that is calling them, it's not the supervisory minister. They can see it's missed call and they will not respond. And now, this is a privatized entity. Let them privatize, complete the unbundling of Transmission Company of Nigeria. If they complete the unbundling of Transmission Company of Nigeria, federal government should pull out of the disco. Federal government should pull, if they have equity in discos and gencos, federal government should stop getting involved in metering. Federal government have raised 750 billion naira for metering, district metering, presidential metering, national mass metering. They are all gamut of corruption. You understand? Let us pay for our meter as customers. There are a lot of resources in our pocket that they have not been tapped. Look at the telecom sector. Before the privatization, it was 200,000 fixed line. Now, the telemetry, teledensity in Nigeria is huge. It's close to 198 million. Everybody in Nigeria, even those selling meat, now have phone. It's the in thing, because federal government don't have to drive it. Federal government does not have the resources and the capacity or absorptive capacity to drive the power sector. Let them incentivize. Let them create the enabling environment. It should not be seen as
and for private investors to run
it. Let us treat it as business. When we put the right system in place, technology, metering, and what have you, Nigerians will pay for less. The discourse does not even know the number of customer data or population that they have.
Healthy competition?
Of course.
Okay.
As we speak now, if we are in Abuja, if you are not satisfied with the services of Abuja Disco, you don't have an alternative to port.
You don't have an alternative to
market monopoly.
Yes.
So monopoly creates inefficiency because
that's what I'm looking for.
Go to hell, they will say. Permit my language. Go to hell because they know you can't go elsewhere. Do you understand what I'm saying? So if we run this dynamic, for example, now
open the market.
For example, now the distribution company, they had a service level agreement. They have performance contract when they were going for this license. How can somebody, the discos, acquire license? They did not have money to even run the post license listing, to buy investment, to invest in the grid. You get my point? Most of the substations you see in Abuja and other parts, you see how they are built by FCT, they are built by estate developers, they are built by consumers. When we buy transformer and create the network, the discourse will say, come, under duress, we come and sign that is donated. Against our will. Instead of them to encourage us to, if you come and make the NEC has even made it difficult for us to invest more. See, we're supposed to be seen as partners in progress.
The consumers here.
Consumers, not with their entitled mentality.
But it is the law. It is the law.
The discourse to us has become our own version of Donald Trump.
Yes.
They say, look up, NATO, we are in this race, we are in the middle. Come and join us without cutting us along.
For the interest of the common man that is watching us.
Yes.
Because I've been listening to you for some time now, and it seems to me you have in-depth understanding on
it's quite
yes, and time is on our friend, but I need to ask you certain questions.
It's quite appalling.
But for the common man that is watching us to understand, now I want to break it into two. So the common man out there, those who don't really have ability to understand these technicalities you have been using.
Please, we have 3 minutes.
There are two things. 3 minutes. One, you are now saying that they need to open the market. We now see why when our transformer is spoiled.
Competitive electricity market. Competition.
Now the people there now know why our transformer is spoiled. Nobody comes to replace the transformer. Will be the one to go and buy it because the market is not open.
It's not open.
You don't have a choice. You
have alternative.
You don't have alternative. So they now know. Two, what is the effect of this alternative energy called solar energy on this whole? Because a lot of people are, even me as I'm talking to you, I'm already making plan to put on solar energy. Yes. So if a lot of people, somebody jokingly said in my street that by the time everybody subscribes to solar energy, that NEPA, whatever ADC will suffer. What do you have to say about that?
Well, truth of the matter is that we need to speak to Federal Inland Revenue Services, all the revenue collection agencies and customs, because they sometimes set target and they pride themselves with the fact that non-oil revenue, they've been able to generate 10 trillion or 30 trillion naira at the expense of the economy. For example, now, we're supposed to have a one-stop shop, which or with clearing house, a table where all agency, custom, FRS can meet, so that when you are importing dedicated port, federal government should create a tax holiday, fiscal and non-fiscal incentive for this importation of, because we don't have the local capacity now to complement. We did that in cement for this importation of alternative source of energy, solar panel and what have you. The customs should not see something that will stimulate growth for now before we have the energy growth. They should not see it as a means of revenue. They should see it as what we need to encourage importation, so that if you want to import some of these things, by the time you take custom duty and some of those multiple charges, the landing cost will be so affordable. Yes. And so when you bring the total quantum, there's no nation that depends like Nigeria on hydro and gas
anymore.
It is about energy mix. If you go to Scandinavian countries, the Nordic countries, it's the total quantum of all this generation that is being aggregated as a national quantum of generation. And so if you can bring in those things at little or no cost, taking away, creating this tax holiday and what have you, every industry, cottage industry, the starters, the SME, will be able to create jobs. And there will be less sleepless nights for government about insurgency, Boko Haram, youth restiveness, and other social vices that we've been facing as a result of energy poverty in the country.
Sir, look, I have a lot of questions to ask you, but see, time is not our friend. I wanted to ask you about the issue of 40 billion naira that we lost as a result of power outages in Nigeria, but no, that. But unfortunately,
40 billion. We'll continue to lose more because it's deliberate. Because there are in the system. Anytime federal government, you have seen that in the petroleum sector, federal government have saved 60 million liters per day. Federal government have not looked at that. Some people are benefiting from that. From it. So,
but now it's not up to it.
Yes, so it's completely shrink.
It's shrink to
60 million liters per day have been shrink
to 38 according to them.
No, I mean the volume was usually inflated by 60 million before. We are not paying for that. So if federal government pull out, if federal government is not going to bear the burden, there will be transparency, there will be probity and accountability, and we'll get it right.
Sir, like I said,
as we speak now, the market is not bankable.
It's not bankable, actually. So thank you very, very, very much.
It's my pleasure being in your studio.
Honestly, you have really enlightened us the more. And
I'm not a contractor. I'm not a politician, so there's no hold back. We don't hold them any apology. We speak for Nigeria, and we must make sure that Nigeria works.
All right.
Thank you, and you're doing a good job. Keep it up.
Thank you very, very much. Yeah, Kunle Kola Olubi is the president. Olubio, I beg your pardon. Olubio is the president, Nigeria Consumer Protection Network, and I
hope I've protected you.
Oh, of course, you've really done that. And he's also a member, a National Technical Investigative,
a recent member of the Gas Committee. The Minister of Powers on Tuesday at Fraser to set up a committee for us to track the performances of the GEMCOs and what have you as per this gas issue.
Okay.
By next week, it will be inaugurated so that we can hit the ground running. So and represent your interest.
So like you can hear, he's someone who, of course, abreast with what is happening in the power sector in Nigeria. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you very much. My pleasure.
Okay, Chidi, we have to go now. Let the discussion continue.
I want to commend him, to be honest with you. There are questions I wanted to ask you because
we don't have time. We have to go. We have to go now.
Because I was, as a end user, like you said, I'm also in tune with those on the street. There are some questions I wanted you to answer so that they can also understand the issue.
All right, thank you very much.
My line, and be rest assured that at your beck and call, I'll be available to respond to some of the questions. Continuous process.
The continuous thing. All right, thank you so much. And on this juncture, we just have to call it a day on this edition of P&B Morning Show. And P&B Morning Show will be back same time on Monday. We of course will bring you some interesting issues affecting us as citizens of this country. On behalf of the team, I am Omike Joseph Matthew. Have a lovely weekend ahead of you. Bye-bye.